Thank you. Welcome to my short presentation. I tried to get it started here, but I'm not sure. No. Yeah, maybe, you know.
Just appreciate the sheer awe and wonderment of being back together here at AWE.
But maybe I can already start. So,
please, feel free.
As introduced, we are tooz Technologies. We are a spin-off from ZEISS, the optical company in Germany. We have started working on waveguides, optical systems for augmented reality and smart glasses since more than a decade. There was a spin-off from ZEISS. Initially, it was ZEISS Smart Optics. Then we turned it into a joint venture with Deutsche Telekom T-Mobile. And right now we are taking care about, first of all, optical solutions, optical engines for smart glasses and augmented reality, but also for full reference designs to enable really good overall solutions based always on our core, which is the optical engine. We have prepared one slide which shows you our vision, and the speech is also announced regarding around our vision, since we think that we should start with normal prescription glasses. So our vision is that we want to upgrade normal prescription glasses. We don't want to build some tech which is fancy, big, expensive, or maybe just working in a few years or decades. We want to provide technology which is able to upgrade normal prescription glasses on short notice with normal processes from manufacturing up to the sales channel to enable a very quick and convenient market acceptance by the end consumer. I hope that we get the slide soon, because otherwise it's difficult. But I can think about what else I can tell you in the meantime. But I see some signs. They are working. Good. Cool. Yeah, so we have it here in a nutshell. So as explained, it was ZEISS initially, then it was ZEISS Smart Optics. Now we are in a joint venture with Deutsche Telekom. So it's tooz, the T and the Z maybe gives an idea why the company is named like this. And again, that is our vision. The upgrade and the enablement of prescription glasses for augmented reality, really for all-day use. And right from the start, we more or less had three cornerstones which we wanted to achieve. So the key success factors from a customer perspective, first of all, is form. The form factor of such a device is very critical. Then the function must be kept and upgraded. So both topics are very important for augmented reality with prescription. And finally, you must be able to scale it up. Regarding the form, I think it's quite obvious that you need good-looking glasses. So glasses is normally a statement. It is for sure a tool, but you have it in your face. It's a very personal device. You wear it all day, and you don't want to look stupid. You don't want to feel uncomfortable. Also, the person who is approaching you does not want to feel uncomfortable. So there is some kind of a established design which is accepted, which looks normal, and people or humans are quite sensitive when you get out of this range. So it's a lot about, let's say, proportions. The temple area is very critical, and if you add here and there always some millimeters, it's getting heavier, it's getting bulkier, but people overall look completely different. So we stick to the normal form factor, and as you can see, we achieved it already. This is the ESSNZ Berlin glasses, which we present on our booth. It is full functional. It is our reference design. It is not made with a venture capital of $1 billion, which other companies already tried to burn to make these devices. We just invested a few €100,000 on the full reference design. For sure, the core technology, the optical engine, is by far more expensive, and we spend the money on this. But in these glasses is the optical engine, the electronics, the battery, the sensors, everything is inside, and it already looks quite normal. From the form factor, there's one other dominant criteria, which is a weight. So everybody who's wearing glasses already knows that if you have got a lot of weight on the nose, it's getting uncomfortable. After a long day, you have always the marks on your nose from the nose pads. So we clearly target glasses around 40 grams. With the next generation, which is here a prototype with a very slim frame with high-end materials, you already can achieve 45 grams. So the 40 grams is a clear target. And for the full package, so the lens, waveguide, display, battery, electronics, sensors, 40 grams should be possible. Another key success factor is the, let's say, intended use of glasses, because we are deeply convinced that the upgrade is necessary, but you have to keep to upgrade it. You have to keep the intended use of these glasses with either a protection requirement, which glasses fulfill, so protection from UV or dirt or dust in B2B environments. But for consumers, it's normally UV protection, so normal sunglasses. But the key killer application for glasses is still prescription. And we are clearly targeting this market, and for a good reason. Because first, we think that people will not wear the glasses if they are not or have not a need to wear glasses. It is, from our point of view, not enough to provide people which don't need vision correction or protection some fancy augmented reality stuff. So the core use case is a upgrade, but keeping the prescription, which is difficult because therefore you need basically two different optical systems providing you two different benefits. And from the business point of view, it's quite interesting because for sure, as you all know, normally you're getting older, then the request either for near-sight vision is coming when you're getting older, so normally between 45 and 50, there's the tipping point and people have to wear reading glasses. But from the business perspective, it is very important to understand that there is a change in the physiology of people driven by behavior, which means especially in Asia, but also now in the Western world, the kids are used to have got a lot of displays near to eye, so tablet, mobile phones. They are living in mega cities. They don't have the request to look in the far side so often anymore. Therefore, the eye adapts in the growing phase, and almost every person in China who is in the age around 14, 15 right now has to wear glasses already, which means the market is shifting and the target market is getting bigger and really big. So to sell a glasses to somebody who has got already a laser scanning treatment is not the realistic use case because they want to get rid of the glasses. There is a few amount of people who prefer contact lenses, fine, but overall glasses again is a statement, it's a design statement, and it is the most convenient way to fulfill this prescription requirement or correction requirement. If you see that the market is growing and you see also internationally, and we from Carl Zeiss, we sell 100 million correction lenses every year. We have quite good insights into this market, that also the amount of money people want to spend on glasses is also increasing. So it is not only that you have got this correction need, but you also want to have got a good looking glasses. So a design topic is also always involved. Therefore you need again the form factor. And if it all comes together, people spend a lot of money for this, which means the average price for prescription glasses with progressives in Europe is up to 1,000, even more, euros, also US dollars, which is a huge amount of money. And again, we think that in a few years, people will just go to the optician store, maybe also online. We will also get back to this. And first of all, they will decide on the glasses form factor and select the glasses which looks good in their face. And then they decide which lens they want to buy, which means which correction needs they have. They have the prescription or the recipe from the ophthalmic or the optometrist. And then finally, they can decide if they want to upgrade a normal glasses with this augmented reality feature or not. This will be, from our point of view, a normal process in the near future, and then they can spend maybe even more than $1,000 or euros on this kind of devices, because then it's an easy win, finally, to make this last step. Market is growing, also the amount of money is growing, which means overall there is a big growth in this segment. For sure, that's the overall growth, including contacts and also other treatments or other services, but overall it is a huge market, and without prescription it will be difficult to play a role in this market. Then everything else will be a niche market or a additional adjacent device for gaming, for computing applications, and so on. And we clearly target on this big market. If you target on a good form factor, for sure you have to sacrifice something. And we prefer to come from a bottom-up approach, which means from the functionality, we start with the basic functionalities right now. The development kits we sold last year, and also the next generation, which we present here at the show, the ESSNZ Berlin, have some sensors, some gyros, they have got ambient light sensors, and so on. But no camera, no eye tracking, just basic functionalities, and a limited field of view around 20 degrees. And we think that we can increase functionalities when technologies merge, so battery technologies, sensor technologies, to make it slimmer, lighter, more energy efficient. And one big step in the last year was already the switch from OLED displays to micro LED displays. And there are a lot of topics in the room which will also help that we can increase the functionality and keep the good form factor. And others have a different approach. They start with a bulky device and now hope that everything shrinks and we maybe finally end up in this so-called sweet spot. But there are a lot of big bets in the room, which technologies, which materials will finally make the difference. Scale. Maybe one of the most underestimated points, or the points which a lot of companies or also big players, when we are talking to them, underestimate. So finally, you have to manufacture all these lenses or optical systems. And we at tooz, we focus right from the beginning in our product requirement specification on a price point which is maybe double the price of a high-end progressive lens which Carl Zeiss is producing already today in high volumes. And we established full-fledged manufacturing lines for this lens in our prototype labs, which we have, to establish manufacturing processes which finally can be replicated, duplicated, and outsourced by and brought to big players. And we focus on injection molding. So we have a one-shot waveguide, one-shot injection molding, and then you have got the final waveguide. For sure, we treat the lens and coat the lens afterwards a little bit to adjust it regarding the display requirements. But overall, it is a high scalable manufacturing process. It is polycarbonate. It is easy, finally, for the user to treat it. It is very robust. It is a known material in the value chain of the optics market right now, or since decades already. And we focus everything on the scalability of the technology, which means not only scalable in terms of manufacturing, but also at the point of sale. So as we know this full process and also have a lot of equipment within Carl Zeiss to play around in this value chain, we focus that everything which is today installed by normal opticians worldwide can be utilized without any change to finally sell our prescription lens to the end consumer. And it starts with a routine diagnostic. So since we have got a reasonable big eye box, we don't need fancy sensor technology or measuring technology to measure your head size, to measure your pupil distance. We just can take a normal subjective refraction process, including the PD distance. And finally, we have the idea that 3 frame designs, more or less driven by the head size, small, medium, large, can be combined with our ophthalmic lens with one SKU, and then you have got a working product. So the optician just makes a normal measurement. You select your frame, different size, different forms, different colors, and then you bring in finally together the lens with the frame. After we customized it. And the customization process is also a standard process which is done today in the world 100,000 times with normal prescription lenses, which means we have the waveguide, we have another layer for the backside surfacing. You can take the existing equipment, existing backside surfacing machines, all the recipes, all the software programs, so also the digital value chain that somebody just prints in or types in sphere, cylinder, axis. It's provided to a lab. The lab takes a rare lens. The rare lens is treated, finalized. You get a final coating. Then you cut and etch the lens according to your frame design, and then you ship it to the customer or to the optician, and then you can click it in the frame where the electronics and display technology is already included. So we have got two different streams. Also, finally, to scale it up, you can make in Asia preferred the electronic, the frame, very cheap, scalable. The lens can be done everywhere. It can also be done decentralized like it is today in prescription RX labs, which are in the in Northern America, a few big labs. But you can also do it in a small high-end optician bespoke glasses shop, because it's always the same standard material, so there is no limitation in terms of scalability. The sales access or the customer access is one of the other big topics. So there's a big discussion if these glasses can be sold in an electronic shop or online or at a optician store. Due to the fact that in a lot of countries, a prescription glasses, but also a sunglasses, for example, in the US, a sunglass is a medical device. With prescription, you have the need that a medical device approval is available, or you have it for the lens. We think, especially at the beginning, it will be sold by the normal optician stores, because people want to wear it, they want to check it out. But it's not the limitation. We have the access. We have 13,000 optician stores in the world with our Carl Zeiss networks, but you can also ship it to everybody else who has got an optician store. Since we have got a very relaxed IPD measurement, you can also do what is shown here in from different startups, that you have got this virtual try-on, which means you scan your face with the iPad or your mobile phone, you select a frame, a smart frame, and then finally you type in your prescription, and it can also be sold online. So there's no limitation. If it finally will be sold in electronic markets, let's see. Will also depend how the industry decides it, but we don't think that there's a request to do so. So there is already everything available to sell such technology in an established value chain. To be allowed to sell it, as mentioned, you need a FDA approval, for example, for the US. China is not regulated, but for the US, and therefore you have to fulfill everything. Not only in terms of, let's say, medical approval, but also in terms of where is the field of view, what are the limitations, which optical performance in terms of see-through correction and so on have to be fulfilled. And this is a topic which is also underestimated because there's not really an experience. We from tooz work on this. We already started the process to get this done, which means you need a completely full-fledged quality management system. You need an audit and finally an FDA approval, stable processes, and that is something which just takes time. And you have to do it for every, let's say, lens design, optics design, and therefore it is beneficial if you don't have something unique, but you have got a limited amount of SKUs to have some benefits, some scale effects from your medical approval process, that you just have to add some additional FDA approvals if you have got the first approval in place, and this will happen at tooz very soon. To finalize it, if you want to see how it works, how far the technology already is, we invite you to come to our booth. We have everything in place. We have prototypes from the first version in color. We have prototypes from the next generation reference design, which are already in good shape and giving you an idea how good the performance will be very soon. And now I'm happy to discuss and answer your question.
Let's have a hand for Kai. We do have a few minutes available to answer any questions that you might have. We'd invite you to please step up to one of the microphones that we have set up for Q&A. When I think of innovation and conversations that I've had recently about the problems that we aim to solve with technology, you know, they're ones that we provide solutions to, but there's an extra traction and trajectory when they're ones that people actively are looking for solutions for. And building on something existing that enhances and betters the lives of people with a practical need is something really special. And I think it's really incredible what they're working on. So I'd encourage you to please step forward and ask any questions that you have for Kai during this time.
Hi, Kai. Curious about replacement lenses. Say your prescription changes. How is that built into this ecosystem? Do you have to get a whole new pair of glasses? Can you replace just the lens portion and keep the rest of it? And also, related, are you looking to the future where maybe you don't have to replace the lens as the eye changes? Is there are you looking at the technology and how the actual optics itself could morph over time? And I know there's been some work been done on that. I don't know how much and where we are right now, but just curious your take on that, the future of this, where you might not need to get new lenses every time or be able to share glasses with people with multiple prescription needs.
So, yeah. So thanks for the question. So the first topic, we have got a frame design, and we are quite relaxed in the interface between the display and the in-coupling area of the optical engine, of the waveguide. So it's very easy that you open the frame. We have got a prototype and also patents on it, that you open the front side of the frame. Either you have a lens inside, then you remove the old lens with the prescription and click the new lens inside the existing frame, which you already have, and upgrade it. Normally, from our experience, the people do not exchange lenses in existing frames. They do not do it in normal prescription glasses. Since you can do it every year, but in the average, people buy new glasses after 2 or 3 years, or they buy additional glasses and upgrade on this way their lens. But it's possible. But I think, as we know, it's a consumer electronics device. Also, the electronics gets older, and I think the life cycle will be, like every electronic device, more or less 2 or 3 years, and then you want to have got the latest stuff and new technology, because there will be huge improvements. But it's possible. And the other topic is, I mean, first, recurring revenues is not bad. So self-learning prescription glasses, maybe, if I understood it right, maybe interesting, but right now I have not seen something that really works. And again, it's also a style factor, and people want to have got the latest device, or also just the latest style, which is the same topic with normal prescription lenses, glasses today. The availability, yeah. So it is available. So we have got different approaches. So at tooz, we develop either lenses according to customer specifications, which means that if you have got a target specification, which means the position of the field, eye box size, curvature, display. If you have got a preferred display, we develop the optical engine according to your needs, bring it into the manufacturing process, and can finally manufacture it. That is an NRE project. We have own optic designs, which are 100% owned by us, and these are available. We have got the lens which was in the dev kit, unlimited availability. We are selling it right now since we have the mass manufacturing in place, so you just can order it. The next generation with the micro LED is now underway. It will take, let's say, 3 to 4 months until it's ready, and then there's also another limitation, but they are always designed and engineered for a specific display. So the one is for the micro LED, the other one is for the OLED. And the price point, yeah, we can discuss. Happy to come to our booth. If we understand your volume requirements, we can give you a good price indication.